We are on day 18 of my parenting challenge, and today we're looking at revenge behaviors. So these behaviors are the ones that shock us. They are the ones that hurt us, and sometimes we feel like we need to attack back, right? Underlying these behaviors, though, is a deep-seated hurt. These kids are often revengeful because they feel defeated, or that they can't do anything right. They've tried and just can't do anything right. That no one likes them or no one loves them, that they don't matter, they're bad. These are the types of things. So when we see revenge behaviors, these are hurting kids. Now, the thing that we need to know about revenge behaviors is that kids only seek revenge when they were hurt first. And so now they want to let us know by hurting us back. So even though we have no idea we were hurting our kids and we weren't intentional, we're never intentional to hurt our kids, they think we're doing it intentionally. Right? So we need to remember that. So the remedy is to stop the hurt. And that's why it's so important to see the world from our kids' eyes so we can be aware of what's going on for them. And that's why we talk a lot about that empathy. So what hurts our kids? Of course, well, anything physical, right? Obviously. Any punishment, though, like taking away allowances or privileges, losing power struggles all the time, hurtful words. Sometimes we'll say, you're driving me crazy, or why do I even try to do nice things for you? Or you're acting like a 2-year-old. All of those things can be really hurtful. Yelling, giving them the silent treatment, using sarcasm, pretty much anything that we're doing that isn't connecting with our kids could be hurtful. So I'm going to talk about sibling issues on another day, but kids thinking that their sibling is preferred or that they get special treatment, that's a major source of hurt and something we need to think about as well. When we see these revenge behaviors, we often take it personally as parents and we want to attack back, right? They make it sometimes so that we don't want to do anything with them. We make it so we don't want to try connecting. We don't even want to love them sometimes, right? When we see these really hurtful behaviors. But we're only going to perpetuate the hurt and we're only going to make the behaviors worse. And I always say, if you see a child who's being hurt on the street, what would you do, right? If they're being bullied or hurt, I would run over and save that child. If it was a child I knew, I'd scoop him up and hug him and maybe even kiss him, right? So what do? Well, being heard is essential to avoid being hurt. So your listening and validating will go a long way, which is why I focus so much on that effective communication piece. You also need to be aware of what your intentions are when you respond to behaviors. So are you trying to force your kids to follow through with your orders? Are you trying to teach them a lesson? Are you trying to, sometimes maybe not thinking I want to hurt, but dig, right? If so, we're only going to get revenge behaviors eventually. So you taking away their video game because they didn't, come for dinner, that's not teaching them a lesson. They just think you are being really mean and trying to hurt them. I love sharing the story from Ariel. The one rule, if you've not seen The Little Mermaid, the one rule is she's not allowed to go to the surface, right? But she goes to the surface and Dad finally finds out that she's been to the surface again after he forbade it, and he comes and he destroys her grotto to teach her a lesson. And we think as parents, we think that our kids are going to think about what they did, and you're right, Daddy, I really shouldn't go. That's not what they do. They just sit there in resentment, thinking how mean we are. And what did Ariel do? She was like, well, screw you, Dad. I'm going to go see the sea witch so that I can go live on the surface for good, right? And that's what ends up happening. They build resentment and just thinking how mean we are. And that's where we see some of the revenge behaviors. You also have to let kids know what the consequences are going to be in advance so that they can make a choice about their behavior. And over time, they'll still, at first they'll still think that you're being mean, but over time they will start making those choices. And I'll be talking about that when we get to consequences. But when we get angry, we tend to threaten in the moment, or we'll throw out punishments right away. And that's only going to elicit revenge over time. Now, if you've worked on getting out of power struggles, that's a great start. And if you've been working on your relationship, that's going to make things so much easier, right? Because the relationship is the key piece in supporting a child, especially those who are engaging in revenge behaviors. And listening with empathy. Again, the collaborative and problem solving approach is really important as well. We're engaging our kids, right? So see, you already have the skills, the foundation that you need with a lot of these behaviors. Now, of course, there's going to be fine tuning, right? But for right now, this is the most important thing. It's just a matter of using them consistently when you need them. So for today, it's continuing working on your problem solving together, building your relationship together, right? Actively listening. All of these things are going to help with those revenge behaviors. Know that if your child hurts, your child was hurt first. This is a hurting child, right? And if we can just change our perspective somehow, even though we think if they just listened to me, right? I didn't do anything hurtful. They were just not listening. But if we think this is a hurting child, right? Again, if I see a child in distress, I would not yell at them. I'd scoop them up and I'd pour my love out to let them know that they're loved, that they're important, that they belong, and that I want to listen to them. So go have a wonderful day with your kids. And I hope that you're able to continue building this relationship and this empathy and your listening skills. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye-bye.